be back on the road.
A flood. The original, from memory, the sign was up there, I forget.
I have to think about that pronunciation. Oyen.
That's just insane, isn't it?
Which is just north of Sydney.
So driving through Sydney.
Which makes us a little bit nervous.
Beijing. And it's the only surviving building from the floods.
A little bit of laughter. We've had some technical.
What do you think of this, John?
Beer o'clock.
Beer o'clock.
G'day guys, we're back for 2024 travelling. It's been a while since April this year we went to York Peninsula, so it's been 6 months plus for us, so we are super excited to be back on the road, and we are heading to New South Wales coast. You missed my cue. So both of us haven't been to the New South Wales coast before, Central Coast that is, so we're really excited. And we left Adelaide yesterday and just stayed overnight at a little town in Victoria. Oyen? Yeah. I have to think about that pronunciation. Oyen. And had brekkie at a bakery which has won the best vanilla slice. It actually started the vanilla slice competition awards. Jeff Kennett got that one started, so good on you, Jeff. So we bought, didn't we?
Bought one.
Because it was 7:30 in the morning and we didn't feel like vanilla slice, we got one to take away. It's a little bit squishy now, but anyway. We will try that later on and see how that goes. And what else did we see? Oh, Oyen has a Guinness World Record, which is the largest stump, mallee stump in the world.
Largest root in the world.
So had a look at that one, and then we hit the road, and now we're just in Hay. Our aim is we are on the road to Gundagai. So we're getting there, should get there about 2 p.m. So the itinerary is we've got about 2 weeks along the Central Coast. So like I said, we left Adelaide, we stop into...
Left Adelaide Wednesday night. Thursday morning.
Yeah, so we're heading to Gundagai tonight, then tomorrow we will get to Adelaide Beach, which is just north of Sydney.
So driving through Sydney, which makes us a little bit nervous. So we'll see how that one goes. Peak hour on a Friday night.
We're going to try and avoid peak hour.
Tried.
And then at Long Beach for a couple of nights. We've got a tour at Broken Bay Oyster Farm. I think it's Broken Bay. So looking forward to that one. Then heading up past Terrigal and staying at the entrance for 5 nights and just having a look around there before heading up to Hunter Valley for a couple of nights before then staying at Newcastle for 3 nights. With hopefully a day trip up around Port Stephens, but that's as far as we'll go, and then we'll head on back to Adelaide. So all in all, it's about 2 weeks on the coast with about 2 or 3 days either side with the travelling, so super pumped.
made a quick pit stop at Hay Water Tower Art, and it's another ripper of a one with a really meaningful history. So this one has all the World War II veterans that are painted on it. So there are 4, and they're all originally from Hay. So this one, yeah, it just comes up when you drive around the corner. There it is, and it's just bam right in front of you, and it's just the vibrant blues and the black portraits of the veterans. It's pretty cool. So, and what I like actually is all the history. So there's a lot of plaques just sort of laid out on a long pathway of all the people who were born in Hay and went to war, World War II, and a huge plaque that commemorates their journey and what they've done. So definitely worth a stop and have a look, because it's not only a wonderful art but a great story behind it. Buggy, as in bugs, are on the screen. We have cleaned Cole's screen, windscreen that is, multiple times, and these damn bugs just keep getting in our way. Play a tune?
Ding 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 ding.
It is playable.
Well, that's dueling banjos.
Maybe not. Oh, very good. What tune was that? Maybe you can stop now. Right, so the big guitar took 300 hours to complete, and it was built to help promote some country music in the town of Narrandera, and it used to be the largest guitar in the world and was in the Guinness World Records. But reading this, that was broken in the year 2000 when someone in Texas built a larger one. But pretty cool. Our next stop was the Water Tower Art, which has 3 murals painted around it. The Hankinson Memorial Fountain is a ceramic fountain created by Royal Dalton. Did you know that there are only 2 of these fountains known to exist in the whole world? The other one is located in Pakistan. The fountain was presented to the people of Narrandera in 1922 in honour of all those Narrandera and district who served in the Great War.
We've had some technical
we just realised when we were talking through about our camping situation, the recording thing was jumping in and out, so now we're trying to backtrack our steps. So anyway,
why is this trip different?
Why is this trip different? Right, 2 reasons. One is camping along the Central Coast is, unless you want to stay in caravan parks, which we're not a big fan of, particularly for such a long stint, is the only real option. If you look at just north of Sydney and you're on wiki camps, there are only a couple of drive-in only, so you have to pitch a tent. You park your car and you have to pitch your tent, so you couldn't even take a rooftop tent from there. And then the other options are caravan parks all the way up to pretty much Newcastle. So whilst the caravan parks are probably wonderful and heard good reviews on some of them and read good reviews on a lot of them, we just don't want to be jam-packed in different caravan parks for 2 weeks straight.
And the prices.
And the prices. So we are staying in different hotels, which we know that of course comes with an expense, but it's a trip we've saved up for the entire year. So we're knowing it's going to cost a little bit more, but we wanted to be on the beachfront. We didn't want to be in caravan parks, and there's no option for camping otherwise. So that's one reason.
And the main one?
And the main one is we actually don't even have anywhere to sleep if we were to camp. So we sold our rooftop tent back last year after our Darling River trip because we wanted to upgrade. We didn't like the setting up and the forward unfold. It was too much packing up. So we are aiming on getting a hard cover. What do you call it?
Hard shell.
Yeah, hard shell. So, and we want something with easy, goes straight up, straight down. So something that's 1.4, something that goes straight up and straight down. There are two that come to our head that we quite like, James Brood and the Monday Tip, like I said, but we haven't pulled the pin yet and just made a purchase. So they're the two reasons why we're doing this trip the way we are. Don't want to be in caravan parks for 2 weeks straight, and there's just no options along the coast to camp otherwise, and we don't have a rooftop tent anyway, let alone a caravan or anything like that. So
we were planning to have a tent by then, but
we were.
it's just the way it's worked out.
Yeah. Our next stop was in Gundagai, where we went straight to the historical bridges. They are truly a must-see when in the area. The history is just incredible. The line across the bridge opened on the 12th of October 1903, with the first train travelling across on the 3rd of December. Right, this is Gundagai's old bridge. What did you learn, John? You just read the plaque.
921 metres long.
Yeah.
It was built as part of a flood. The original, from memory, the sign was up there, I forget. What I remember from the sign is that Gundagai was effectively over there in the floodplains, and in the 1800s it flooded, killed 78 people, and up until 2009, which was the Black Friday bushfires, was Australia's worst national disaster. And then after that there was another flood, and then they decided to move Gundagai from over there to this side of the river, which is higher.
And this
was originally on the flats.
Yeah, that's cool. The last train travelled across the bridge on the 26th of November in 1983, and the line was closed in March 1985 following flood damage to the line. After looking at the historical bridge, you have to make sure that you walk a little bit further because the old historical flour mill is still located along the river. This is also a must-see and is really fascinating to explore. And not far from the bridge is the old flour mill, and it's the only surviving building from the floods.
So you can actually walk up, which I did before. Be careful. So it was built in 1848, 1849, and it's the oldest building now in Gundagai, and the only one to survive from the Great Flood in 1852.
I said 18 that, didn't I?
1852 was the flood.
There you go. Pretty good.
So not bad.
I reckon that sign said 1853 up there.
Oh, we have to go fact check that. This one's saying 1852 was the Great Flood. Oh, very cool.
So I was technically right. There was a flood in 1853, which is in there, but the one in 1852 is what killed 79 people and destroyed the original township.
Which is just below it.
Which is just below it, which is 40 foot 6 inches, and in 53 it was 41 foot 4.
I've just zoomed in on it. Wowzers.
So lucky they moved it, because effectively a year later it had a worse one.
Yeah. There we go. So you are as high as, or as tall as, not quite as tall as the 2012 flood.
If I go this side.
That's just insane, isn't it? Wow. You can definitely see why they relocated. Right, you can see the significant height difference. You've got Flat End where it used to get flooded a lot and where Gundagai used to be, and then where they're located, the height
Moved it up the hill.
moved it up the hill. Good choice, I think. On the 25th of June 1852, the Murrumbidgee River at Gundagai experienced an extreme flood that swept through most of the town and the surrounding countryside, leaving only 3 houses standing. Estimates of the death toll are between 80 and 100 people, more than 1/3 of Gundagai's population of about 250. Gundagai was relocated to a higher and safer position in 1859. That flood in 1852 still remains Australia's deadliest flood today. The bridge near the flood marker is named after a remarkable and very brave Aboriginal man named Yarri. With the help of Jackie, Long Jimmy and one other Indigenous man, they rescued more than 40 people using bark canoes. There is also a statue down the main street of Yarri and Jackie to recognise their bravery during the flooding. Alright, we've just arrived at the Gundagai Criterion Hotel and we've got a drink each and we're looking over the river there. So we're actually staying at a Gundagai park. We'll show you around. They've got drive-through en-suites for caravans, which is pretty cool. We're staying in a cabin and really beautiful area. So it is 5 o'clock. What do you think of this, John?
Beer o'clock.
Beer o'clock.
My ass is sore from driving.
Yeah, the Colorado seats are just
Horrendous.
so they've got a big balcony out here and then a front bar and indoor restaurant inside as well. So
So we have beer here,
beer here.
maybe 2.
Yeah.
Get some food,
Get some food.
maybe here, or a fancy restaurant I've heard of called El McDonald's, which do table service.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Take it back with some roadies back to
The cabin. Because where we are in the cabin, it's beautiful and just peaceful and
overlooks the river.
Yeah, overlooks the river, lovely trees. It's really, really nice.
Have an early night, just chill.
Just chill. So, we'd recommend this hotel. It's pretty
nice.
good.
It's very cool.
Yeah, haven't had any food here, but the drinks and the...
Old school country pub inside,
Yeah, it is.
but nice big entertaining deck over the back.
There are a lot of pubs in Gundagai. When I was doing some research, it was like, oh my God, there are a lot. So you probably can't lose no matter what pub you choose, but this one seems to be a bit of a goer.
And yep, after a couple of drinks, we decided to stay for tea, and it was delicious. The price was really good, and John's pizza was some of the best we've ever had. How's the pizza?
Not bad. 20 bucks.
20 bucks.
Gundagai.
Gundagai G'day Camps.
Yeah. So we're staying down there.
We're staying in a
In one
cabin,
of the cabins.
which is really lovely.
But how cool is this? So drive through,
Yeah.
don't have to unhook, and these little en-suites for them.
Mm-hmm.
And judging by the looks of some of them, have been there a while.
Yeah.
And then we'll show you the ones over the other next row over. Is they've got, well, you can see a little bit over there. They've actually got porta potty type mobile homes
Mobile homes with
Plugged
an
into it.
ensuite.
plugged into it, and further down they've got like brick cabins like motel rooms.
It's
I
pretty
haven't
cool.
seen that before. That looks very cool. I've seen different caravan parks and stuff with en-suites, but it's normally 4 in the middle, and people got to back around and unhook and all this sort of stuff. But this is, you keep it all together. That's a fantastic idea. It's a great caravan park. It must be on the main road in, because it is a little bit noisy. You hear a few trucks with jake brakes and engine brakes and stuff. But it is what it is. But Gundagai is a cool little place.
It is.
Really
Very cool.
nice.
We stayed in one of the cabins, and we discovered around the back a little creek that was really pretty. Right, day three on our
Day 2.5.
day 2.5.
Till
We
the
finally got hot water.
no, they don't know about hot water.
No, well, I'll show you the little picture. So I got up.
No hot water.
No. Turn it on all the way.
Bit of that cold.
Not cold. And same with the tap.
Cold.
Nothing. At 6:15, set the alarm. Thought, right, have a shower, turn on the hot water, the little doobie whacker, turn left, and there was like a dribble of water. So you go to the cold, yep, cold's coming out fine, dribble of hot water. The taps were the same. Thought, am I doing something wrong? I'm like just playing with it, nothing.
Too used to camping when we don't have showers.
I know. So I had to ring, because it was so early, it took a while to get to the receptionist. And they said, oh yeah, we'll find out. So half an hour later, the hot water kicked in, which wasn't ideal for us because we were packed and literally were about to go until I thought we'll try one more, and it worked. So John didn't have a shower. I had a quick one, but yeah, not ideal. Look, now I don't know how you felt last night while trying to sleep, but where the park is, the Hume Highway runs
Over the hill behind
over the
it.
hill. So even late at night, all the trucks, you could hear them. So
And it's in a little bit of a valley, so you can hear
yes.
them.
So we want to be honest and say, look, nice park and all of that amenities good when the hot water's working. But you do get a bit of highway noise quite a lot. So if you can't stand that, then I wouldn't recommend. There's another park I looked at a little bit further away from the township in terms of walking, but not much. And that seemed really lovely. And then there's a rest spot or a camping ground, which is where we saw yesterday by the bridge.
The original site.
But that looks lovely because you could, looking at the pictures, you could park your van right up by the river, and obviously need your own facilities. So there are those. I think they're the only 3 options: 2 caravan parks and then that campground from looking at it. So the caravan park.
There was motels and stuff.
Or motels, yeah. Look, I'd recommend the one we stayed at, but it is got. Let's have the highway, boys, so be aware. Otherwise, try the other two. They might be a bit better.
So just off Hume Highway, just outside Gundagai, is one of the famous things that Gundagai is known for, and that's the dog on the tucker box. But there's also a koala back there that you can pose and sneak in for a quick picture. And now we're just walking across. So the dog in the tucker box is just over here. So I'll suss him out. There he is.
I thought it would be bigger.
That's what a lot of people say. They get here and they go, oh, I thought it would be bigger. What?
Hume, which is the highway,
Yeah.
were actually explorers.
Hume and Hovel.
Yeah,
Oh,
had
there
a
you
Hume
go.
highway. There you go. I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Well, here, well, judging by that, I'd say he either fasted or shat on his lunch. But
So the dog, the idea was the dog sat
Yeah.
on the tucker box
yeah,
while he was busy trying to
get the
get
shit.
unbogged.
Yeah, and then gave up. But if you look at that, he's done a number.
I know. It looks like there's a bit of air coming out of the wrong end of the dog.
Well, it seems we were not far off the truth with the dog letting one rip on top of the tucker box. Reading the history behind the famous poem, we discovered that in 1857 a poem called Bullocky Bill was published anonymously, where the word shat was used instead of sat. Then in 1920, Jack Moses wrote an updated and more accomplished version of this tale, and it immediately became very popular. The word shat was then replaced with sat. Therefore, there are two main poems about the dog on the tucker box, one from the 1850s and the second most famous one written in the 1920s.